Power shared is power multiplied, a case for distributed leadership in today's organizations. Abstract, in today's rapidly evolving business landscape. Distributed leadership has emerged as a critical paradigm shift from traditional hierarchical power structures. This article explores how dispersing influence and decision-making authority throughout organizations enables companies to better navigate complexity by leveraging diverse expertise and perspectives. The authors make a compelling case that effective distributed leadership balances autonomy with coordination through clear vision and values. Presenting theoretical foundations from shared and collective leadership models alongside empirical research demonstrating enhanced innovation and performance outcomes. Through case studies of Google, Amazon, and Toyota, the article illustrates practical implementations of distributed leadership principles, highlighting how these organizations have successfully empowered employees at all levels while maintaining strategic coherence. The authors conclude by offering best practices for organizations seeking to multiply their capabilities by cultivating leadership across all ranks rather than concentrating power at the top. Gone are the days when power and leadership were solely held by those at the top of organizational hierarchies. The modern business landscape demands a new way of leading that shares power across all levels. Today we will make the case that adopting distributed leadership practices allows companies to better navigate today's complex environment by multiplying their power and capabilities. An overview of distributed leadership. Distributed leadership involves dispersing influence and decision-making authority throughout an organization rather than centralizing it among a select few. Curry and Lockett. 2011. By drawing on the expertise and perspectives of diverse teams. This democratized approach to power generates more innovative solutions and fosters greater agility. However, just sharing titles and responsibilities is not sufficient. Strong direction and coordination are still needed from the top. This essay will explore how leadership can balance distributing authority while maintaining oversight through clear vision and values. To build the research foundation for this argument, theories on distributed and shared leadership will be discussed along with findings from empirical studies. Then, specific examples will illustrate how top companies like Google, Amazon, and Toyota have successfully applied distributed leadership principles. The conclusion will summarize key takeaways for organizational leaders looking to strengthen their impact by multiplying rather than hoarding power. Distributed leadership. Theoretical foundations. A wealth of research supports the organizational benefits of distributed leadership models. Broadly defined, distributed leadership involves two or more individuals influencing each other and working collaboratively to achieve positive organizational change. Kamper-Kokesh and Anderson. 2001. At its core, this approach recognizes that leadership skills and expertise reside in many people, not just those at the top of hierarchies. Spillane et al. 2004. Shared and collective leadership. Closely related concepts include shared leadership, where influence is dispersed across team members rather than centralized in a single appointed leader. Carson et al. 2007. Collective leadership also emphasizes team-level interactions and social construction of leadership functions rather than traits of individuals. Fletcher and Korfer. 2003. Across these frameworks, leadership becomes more of a collaborative process than a position or role. Situational and contingency approaches. Other models draw on situational and contingency theories. Situational leadership contends that different leadership styles are appropriate depending on subordinates' development levels and task demands. Hersey and Blanchard. 1969. Similarly, contingency theories propose that leadership effectiveness depends on matching one's style to organizational characteristics and contextual factors. Fiedler. 1964. These approaches suggest a flexible, adaptable model is needed where power is dispersed strategically based on situations. Empirical research has found distributed leadership to be positively correlated with school effectiveness, innovation diffusion, and team performance. Leithwood et al. 2007. Mer et al. 2006. Hock and Julbone, 2017. When influence and decision-making are shared across ranks rather than monopolized from above, organizations can better leverage diverse strengths and harness creativity from all levels. Implementation in practice. Google, Amazon, Toyota. Let's now examine specific cases of distributed leadership in action at well-known companies. How have they applied concepts in realistic organizational contexts? Google, flat structure, skunkworks approach. Google is renowned for its flat, decentralized structure where teams have autonomy and influence is widely dispersed. Bock. 2015. Small, self-managed groups dubbed pods work on projects without rigid hierarchies. Teams also have freedom to experiment through an internal 20% time policy allowing engineers to innovate on ideas outside core responsibilities. Google's skunkworks or autonomous innovation units like X further champion an entrepreneurial, distributed approach. This has powered innovations from search to Gmail to self-driving cars by tapping ideas from diverse talent pools. Amazon, leadership from everywhere. Jeff Bezos pioneered the principle that leadership is not a position or title. It's how you behave at Amazon to build a culture where anyone, regardless of role, can step up with new ideas. Lashinsky. 2019. Through initiatives like Workback, where employees propose improvements directly to executives, influence is shared across functions. Autonomous product teams also drive continuous innovation cycles. By distributing ownership and decision rights, Amazon harnesses creativity from all 24,000 plus teams to evolve offerings rapidly based on data and customer feedback. Toyota, frontline-centric continuous improvement. The Toyota production system exemplifies distributed leadership through its emphasis on continuous improvement, Kaizen, led by frontline associates. Team members have authority and responsibility for operational problem-solving using tools like PDCA cycles and Anden codes to flag issues for immediate resolution. Leica and Hosius. 2008. Cross-functional leadership is also cultivated through quality circles and problem-solving workshops. This systematic involvement of all employees maximizes organizational learning and responsiveness to changing market needs. Best practices for organizations. While dispersed authority yields benefits, complete leaderless structures pose coordination challenges. Strong direction is still needed. Organizations should consider the following: clear vision and values. Distributed leadership functions best with a coherent vision and set of values to guide dispersed teams pursuing diverse initiatives. Fletcher and Korfer. 2003. Curry and Lockett, 2011. Leaders must establish a unifying direction and boundaries for autonomous units. Design framework for power distribution, rather than ad hoc distribution. Leadership diffusion should follow an intentional framework considering situational factors. Expertise allocation, succession planning, and change management. Dennis et al. 2012. Processes hold teams accountable within the shared vision. Develop leadership at all levels. Empowering distributed leadership demands developing leadership competencies company-wide, not just for C-suite. Pielstick, 2000. Hock, 2013. Training, coaching and lateral job rotations help nurture a pipeline of diverse leaders comfortable with collaborative influence models. Foster networked communication. Distributed structures rely on lateral communication networks to coordinate dispersed work and share information for coherence. Uckel. 2009. Curry and Lockett, 2011. Leaders promote participatory decision-making forums, knowledge management systems and communities of practice. Balance autonomy with direction. Complete autonomy yields incoherence while too much central control stifles innovation. Mayer et al. 2006. Dennis et al. 2012. Leaders establish light touch governance allowing strategic flexibility within clearly defined parameters. Conclusion: as work grows more complex, no single person possesses all the knowledge or expertise needed to function optimally. The strongest contemporary organizations embrace distributed approaches to amplify their impact by tapping into collective wisdom. By intelligently dispersing authority, vision, and influence, companies can better solve challenges, sense emerging opportunities, and execute rapidly through self-managed teams. Leaders play a crucial role not in hoarding power but in cultivating an environment where leadership emerges organically from passionate employees at all ranks. By multiplying rather than monopolizing influence, organizations multiply their capacities to innovate, adapt, and thrive.